Okay, this is a tutorial for lesson 9A, and as you can see, I'm currently on lesson 8A. The only reason is I've just chosen an older lesson because it has all of my layers already set up for me, so I don't have to do that over again. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and save this as lesson 9A, and you guys should be saving this to your flash drive. I'm going to go ahead and save mine to my desktop because I'm on my home computer, and then I can get rid of all of this text because now I'm working on 9A. If you look at the directions that you'll find on the shared folder, the first thing they want us to do is change the units. So I type in units, enter, and they want us to go to the nearest 1,000th, so 3 zeros, and they want us to make sure it's on decimal, which it is, decimal degrees and inches. So I am good to go. Go ahead and click OK. Next thing they want us to do is to change our limits. So I type in limits, enter. The lower left corner is currently 0, 0, as you can see down here, which is exactly what I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. The upper right corner is 12, 9, and that is basically for an A-size piece of paper. For this one, they want us to put it on a B-size piece of paper, so they want it to be 17, 11, which means it's 17 inches wide by 11 inches tall. I hit enter. And if you're not sure if you did it correctly, I just type in limits again, 0, 0 as it says right here. I hit enter, and then it's at the upper right corner is 17, 11, which is exactly what I want it to be. So I hit enter again, and then usually I'll just hit escape, and I know I am good to go. You can also turn the grid on, and you can see that this is 17 wide by 11 tall. After that, they want to make some changes on the snap and grid settings. The first thing they ask us is to make sure snap is on 0.250. So I just right click on snap down here, go to settings, and currently mine are at 0.5. So I change it to 0.25 and 0.25 and click OK. And then I'm going to do the same thing for grid, right click, go to settings, and they want our grid spacing to be 0.5. So what should happen if I have snap and grid on is if I zoom in here, I'm on a dot, and since the snap is 0.25, that means it should snap one right in between the two dots, as you can see it's doing. So it should go 2 snaps between the dot because the snap is on 0.25 and the grid is spaced out 0.5. So that's all that means. So that's if we use snap and grid. Of course, we can turn both of those off, but that's what they want us to set those up at. Okay. The rest of this, I'm just going to use the appropriate layers, and I'm going to draw the title block. So here we go. I'm going to change this to the border layer, and I'm going to go ahead and start with my line. And it wants me to start at the origin. So I'm going to click on line. Down here it says specify start point. My start point is going to be 0, 0. And I hit enter, and you'll see that I have a line to go ahead and start either horizontally or vertically because I have ortho on. If I were to turn ortho off, I could obviously make it go anywhere I want. So I'm going to keep ortho on because I want it to be straight. And it looks like it goes 16 in this direction, so I just type in 16, enter, and then I go up. It looks like my total height is going to be 0.75 for this little section right here. I'm going to go ahead and do 16 again, and I'm going to bring it down and snap that guy right there and hit escape. And I'm going to turn grid off so you can see this a little bit easier. But there's the rectangle where all of my title block type stuff is going to go, and it just makes it real easy to see from there. Okay, so the next thing they ask us to do is to go 10 up from the very bottom. So what I generally do is I'll start here, and I go up 10, and then I'm going to go over 16. And you're going to notice I'm not going to go down 10 because what it will do is it will draw another line over this line right there. So I'm going to actually go ahead and just, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to draw that line there at all. I'm just going to take this line right here, and I'm going to grab this grip, and I'm going to snap him up to there because I want one line right there, just like that. And you'll notice that on this side, that is the case. But when I take this grip and I move it up to say here, you're going to notice that I still have a line right there. So I'm going to delete that line, and I'm going to grab this grip, and I'm going to bring it down. And the reason why I do that is because while you won't be able to see double lines on the screen, you will be able to see it when you print it out. So you do want to make sure that you don't have any double lines. So there's the basic outline of the title block, and then I'm going to go ahead and make the rest. So the first thing it wants me to do is it wants me to do my name, and it looks like it wants us to go up a quarter of an inch. So I'm just going to find the midpoint, go up 0.25, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw a line over in both directions. So there's up 0.25 from the bottom, and it looks like it wants us to do the text. It wants the text height to be 0.25, and it wants us to use uppercase letters as well. So another thing it wants us to do is it wants us to go over 0.25, and basically at this corner that's where I'm going to start my text. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. It says place in the middle using justified middle. So here we go. DT enter, J enter, and it wants me to justify using middle. So M enter, specify middle position. I'm just going to put it right here because it's really easy to move later. It wants the height to be 0.25, and the text angle will stay 0. And I'm going to go ahead and type in my name. As you can see, mine is on Comic Sans, which is a good thing. If yours is not on Comic Sans, go ahead and change it because I do not want to see it on the regular text style. So I'm going to hit enter one time, and I'm just going to put in all of my text right now because it's easier. And EX-XXX, and I hit enter twice. So now what I can do is I can grab this guy and I can just snap him to right there. And roughly what it wants us to do is it wants, and I use snap to nearest for this one. So I have to find snap to nearest up here. Here it is. And it will allow me to do this. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is it basically wants like a quarter of an inch after my name. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 0.25, and then I'm just going to draw this line right here. And this is going to be the edge of my title block right there. So that's where my title block is going to end right there, at least for my name section. So that is what that will look like right there. And then title. Let's see. It looks like it wants to go over 14, so I'm just going to draw a line over 14 according to the dimensions. 14, and I'm going to draw that guy straight down. And then I need to go over 0.25 from this section. So I'll just do it from up here. And I'm going to draw this guy straight down. And now my EXX needs to snap to that point right there. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and I'm going to snap him to right there. And so once I have that in place, everything else is fairly easy. Actually, all I need to do now is just draw a construction line. This line I'm going to be erasing in a minute. And I'm going to take this one, I'm going to snap the title to the middle of this line right here, which will be right there. And now I can get rid of all of these lines that are kind of mucking this up and make it look a lot cleaner. Oops. Control Z is undo, by the way, if you haven't figured that one out. That's definitely one that you're going to want to know how to use. So delete all of these, and then my name will look nice and neat. And if you need to, like this one, I'm just going to go ahead and trim this guy, and then I can delete all of the rest of this stuff that's up here. So there is my title block. Everything is good to go. The nice thing is from here on out, I'm going to go ahead and save this right now, but from here on out, when I start with lesson 9A, I can just open 9A, and if it's going to be called, let's say it's going to be called angle block, I can just double click title and go ahead and get rid of title and type in angle block, and it's already going to be centered and ready for me to go. Or let's say this is exercise 9B, and get rid of those, and exercise, oh, I guess I should leave the dash in there. Exercise dash 9B, and it can look something like that, and it's good to go. So once you set up the title block, this should make your life a lot easier. I also just thought of one other thing. If you look at my text, when I select my text, it is on the border layer. That's a big no-no, so I'm going to go ahead and select my text, and I'm going to change that over to the text layer. So those are now on the text layer. You'll notice when I select any line, it doesn't really matter. It shows that it's all on the border layer, and when I select my text, it shows me that it's all on the text layer. So there you have it. So that's lesson 9A. I'll be back in other tutorials to show you 9B and some of the other ones.